Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be going over a few issues I've noticed in Anime Last Stand on Roblox and what I think the game could do to improve the player base. I've been playing the game since a little bit after release, and I have every unit in the game except for a select few of the new portal units, but let's get into it. So first off, I think we should mention the most recent update. This most recent update was delayed by upwards of 5 hours. That alone is cause for serious concern within the dev team, but even more concerning than that is the complete and utter lack of effort and thought that went into the update. First off, the map is lazily made and looks like a template that a toddler could have created, and not to mention that when the map first came out, you couldn't even place units in the center of the map. The units were not balanced or properly tested at all, and every unit in the update is extremely bad except for Giga Chat Over Heaven, which was given a ridiculous spawn rate. This can be seen with the SPA values of each new unit. Their SPA values have no variety, and they're like they just coded the animations and just plugged random numbers in for each upgrade. This is extremely apparent when the only SPA values you really get to look at for the units is either 6 seconds or 11 seconds. To fix this, I think it's important that the dev team needs to perform and genuine testers. There's plenty of YouTubers that would love to test the new units and give genuine feedback that I think could benefit the entire player base. Next, I think it's important to discuss a fairly controversial topic, and that is rerolls, aka the money farm. Rerolls are obviously intended to be the developer's main source of income, and it's important as players to understand that the money they get from the game will always be their main priority over the player base. And if they're making money, they couldn't really give two shits what anyone thinks. It's also important to realize that no matter what, their player base is never really going to be in agreement with how rerolls are handled. People who already have an abundance of celestial traits are going to argue for them to be harder to obtain, while those who have none, despite using hundreds and hundreds of rerolls, will argue for them to be easier to obtain. While I may have been shit talking the dev team previously, I do think the team is heading in a good direction with the current updates that they have made to rerolls and the ability to obtain them from challenges, even though I've ran upwards of 20 today and only gotten one reroll. Finally, something I'd like to see is more structure with the updates and wherever from the dev team. I truly think this game has great potential, but at the moment, it's really nothing in comparison to what Anime Adventures was, even in the early stages of the game. I'd love to see the dev team really put more effort into the themes behind the updates. I think that every celestial unit that comes out should have an evolution, or at least close to it. I think each update should have its own material to evolve the specific units, similar to Anime Adventures. And lastly, I think that raids should be implemented to have multi-step evolutions, similar to previous units from Anime Adventures. I'm hoping this post gets some traction, at least a little bit, so that the dev team can use me as a reliable cursor on where the community stands on a lot of the current issues that are plaguing the game. I look forward to the future, but I do think that they need to up their game or they will be left behind.